So, what if the key to unlocking your business's true potential wasn't about having all the answers right away? What if it was really about asking the right questions? Today, we're going to explore a really powerful mindset shift, one that treats business less like a series of big gambles and more like a series of smart experiments. Let's dive in and see how this one simple idea can literally change everything.
Believe it or not, the inspiration for this entire explainer comes from this one single card. It's just called Science. Now, at first glance, it might look pretty simple, but the messages on it, they offer a surprisingly deep roadmap for tackling business and money challenges in a completely new way.
It's a fair question, right? It seems kind of random, but the principles laid out here are incredibly practical. This isn't about some kind of magic or mysticism, it's about a method. So let's break down exactly what this card is telling us, and more importantly, how we can actually use its wisdom.
All right, so first things first, we need to understand the instructions. The card has 3 different messages, and you'll see how each one builds on the last, creating this really powerful framework for taking action. This right here, this is the foundation. Before you even think about strategy or experiments, it all starts with your mindset. This message is basically asking you to set aside your assumptions, all the things you think you know. It suggests that the answers you're looking for are out there, waiting to be discovered, but you can only see them if you're open to it. Now, this part is pretty fascinating. It's not literally telling you to quit your job and go get a chemistry degree. It's about adopting an identity. It's saying, think like a scientist, Be curious, be analytical, be the kind of person who hunts for actual evidence. It's all about bringing that spirit of scientific discovery into your daily work. And boom! There it is. This is the core instruction. This is the central idea for this entire explainer. It's a direct command to stop guessing and start testing. To treat your business challenges not as these huge, scary problems, but as questions. Questions that you can totally answer through a systematic process.
So to really apply a scientific approach, we've got to get a new perspective. Let's start thinking about your business, or your department, or even just your own career as your own personal laboratory, a place for real discovery and innovation.
This is your new role. You are now the business scientist. What does that mean? It means your ego, your pride, and your gut feelings, they all have to take a back seat. Instead, you're driven by data and real-world results. You're not just an entrepreneur or a manager anymore. You're a researcher on a mission to find the truth about what your customers really want and what actually makes your business grow.
Okay, so it's one thing to have the mindset, but how do you actually do it? What does it look like in practice? Well, the answer is just adapting the scientific method, a process that's been used for hundreds of years to make some of the biggest discoveries in history.
And you can see how perfectly this fits a real business problem. It starts with just observing something and asking a clear question like, why are so many people leaving our website at the checkout page? Then you form a hypothesis, which is just a fancy word for a testable guess. I bet if we simplify the payment form, we'll get fewer people to leave. Then you run the experiment, maybe an A/B test. You look at the data to see which version actually worked better. And finally, you make a decision. Either you make the change permanent, you tweak it some more, or maybe you move on to a totally new idea. Simple, right? But so powerful.
So, how does this new approach really stack up against the way a lot of businesses are run? Well, the difference is pretty stark, and it really gets to the heart of how you can reduce your risk while actually speeding up your growth. Look at this. On one side, you've got the old way. It relies on gut feelings, big bet the company moves, where if you fail, it could be catastrophic. But on the other side, the scientific way is all about small, fast tests. Here, failure isn't something to be afraid of. It's just data. It's a learning opportunity that tells you what doesn't work, which is just as valuable as knowing what does. And suddenly, decisions aren't based on who has the loudest opinion in the meeting, but on cold, hard evidence.
So we've decoded the message from the card, we've adopted this new mindset, and we've learned the method. The only thing left to do now is to actually put it into practice, to start experimenting.
And here we are, full circle, right back to that first and most important piece of advice. This entire process, it only works if you're willing to be wrong. You have to be okay with the data surprising you, with letting your favorite ideas get proven false, because that is where the real breakthroughs happen. That's the something that's unfolding for you.
So I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Think about it. What is your biggest assumption right now? Is it about your pricing, your main marketing message, who you think your customers are? What is one thing you just believe to be true that you could design a small, simple experiment to test this week?
Your journey as a business scientist starts right now.